from what's your channel again? Sorry.
Turnpike Tackle, it's new,
Turnpike
so it's
Tackle.
starting up.
Yep. So I'm Billy, as most of you guys know. Jason, want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Jason Hendricks from Turnpike Tackle. I am a professional wrestler who is now getting into the New York, New Jersey sports media coverage world, and we're ready to do this thing today.
Awesome. So we'll be introducing the Pats versus Jets week 8 matchup. They faced each other back in week 3, I want to say, Thursday night football, and Drake May did see the field. It'll be, I don't know, scores might be different this time around. Stay tuned to figure that out. But I'm gonna be on here just real quick to talk about Pats versus Jaguars in London. Oh man, that was rough. I mean, I just feel embarrassed to be talking about the Patriots and how they played that game. We finally found out our offense, and we just get the worst defense in the league. This is probably the worst game all year for the Pats. Terrible run defense. Defense just a bottom 5 or 6 defense when they were supposed to be a top 10. They were supposed to be the guys that were keeping us in this season. We faced a backup running back, no Travis Etienne, rookie receiver. Um, I mean, half of Jags O line. Jags ran the ball 19 straight times in the last drive. I mean, you'd think they'd be able to stop it at that point, but nope. Tank Bigsby was their only guy. 19 rushes for over 100 yards, just ridiculous for a backup running back. Last week, our defense let Drake May. Last week, Gerard Mayo said that our defense let Drake May down when Drake May passed for 3 touchdowns. And then Greg Bedard from the 98.5 Sports Hub just says, he was like, oh, we're just going to cater to the rookie quarterback and say that our team is just letting them down. I just think that's a ridiculous thing that Bedard said. I don't know if any of you guys caught on to that, but ridiculous that he said that we're trying to cater to the rookie quarterback when he's throwing 3 passing touchdowns and over 250 yards. Like, how are they letting us down? I mean, the defense put Drake May in a situation where we had to score on every drive after the first quarter, which he was managing that situation pretty well in the first quarter, and just after that, it was tough for the rookie quarterback to answer all those touchdowns that the Jaguars got. I think they got 28 straight points, which is ridiculous. I mean, last week, Doug Peterson, or 2 weeks ago, sorry, versus the Bears, like the Jags were ready to keep Doug Peterson in London, like and leave him there and fire him, but nope. Patriots saved his job. Honestly, I think the worst part of this game is that the Texans game, we played well. That was 2 weeks ago, and we had hope. We had hoped to take on a not so good team in London, a primetime game, if you could call it, and we thought, like, damn, if we play like this versus Jacksonville, a terrible team, we could take them. I mean, their team isn't that good, but nope. Our team sucks, and just another loss. Um, the one thing, two things that I liked about this game. I liked the first down pass plays. That was nice, and then the uniforms, the white jerseys, gray pants. Those were pretty nice too. Um, Cannot stand the commentators. They're like, "Oh, this is unpatriot like. These stupid penalties." Yeah, no, that's just not unpatriot like. That's very patriot like. Through 7 weeks of the season, which is unfortunate. 97-yard touchdown punt return that the Jaguars returned. I mean, most special teams say not to even return it within the 10-yard line, and they let them return it and score. Like, that's wild. Um, I get we don't have Barmore, we don't have Judon, we don't have Bentley, but that shouldn't be an excuse against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, that's just not a good team at all. And clearly we aren't a very good team either. Um, I mean, I think if a quarterback throws 276 yards with 2 touchdowns, that game should be somewhat close. I mean, that's what I think anyway. I mean, the coaching situation here just sucks right now. And yeah, I mean, Alex Van Pelt, offensive coordinator, he just called the first 12 plays and he just said, "We're done. I'm just gonna go sightseeing in London," and never came back. And then Jalen Polk, rookie wide receiver from the second round from Washington, cannot catch a ball. All right. 1 in 3 times Polk gets his hand on the ball and drops it. And then we go for 2 with Jalen Polk. And the only target, the only route that a receiver runs was Jalen Polk, and he slips. Like, really? Really, Alex Van Pelt? What are you doing? And then he comes on and says, "Don't worry, I have the best hands in the league." Like, no, you really don't, actually. Like you said that last week. I feel like we just found ourselves another N'Keal Harry, um, which I don't want to call him a bust yet, but it's really easy to. I mean, they're kind of making this whole season revolving around Drake May's confidence and making sure we can't get that ruined. But we're just not focusing on any other rookies. I like how May threw to 9 different receivers. That's a Drake May impact. And O-line looked good today. I mean, only 1 sack let up. Last time versus the Jets, they did not play good. Many sacks were let up. This is just a terrible loss for the Patriots. And yeah. So, sorry that you had to listen to my rant about the Patriots loss last week, but um do you want to mention anything about the recap for Jets last week versus Steelers?
What a nightmare that was. I actually was supposed to go to that game before I broke my leg, and thank God I didn't, because what a nightmare for the New York Jets. Devontae Adams debuts, and it means absolutely nothing in the short term. The reality of this team is that the entire team is out of sync. The offense is getting flags just about every play. Somehow in this game, it seems like we were getting less flags, and it was still an issue. um, nothing was going right at the end of the day, and that is something that we need to fix. We shouldn't be losing by that amount to that team. Pittsburgh is a good team. I'm not taking anything away from them, but look at the talent we have everywhere. Everywhere. It is a coaching problem, and that game specifically hurt just a little bit more. Uh, the Jets always seem to find a way to reignite hope and then just pull it right back. And I think this game against the Steelers, more so than any game in recent memory, really cemented that fact.
Yeah. I mean, I was watching it and I was like, "There's no way the Jets can fumble this," and sure enough, they fumbled it.
Yeah, yeah, there were a couple bonehead picks by Rodgers.
Hmm.
That's not what you want to see. That's not what he's been known for throughout his career. And now
No, but
here
lots
in
of
New York,
turnovers this year.
it seems to be happening. He seems to be out of sync with the receivers, and it's in a position where, maybe the receiver's running a wrong route, but things we can't be doing are shaking our head, rolling our eyes as the quarterback of this team, as the veteran leader, Hall of Fame quarterback of this team, showing open displeasure. I understand we're probably going to trade Mike Williams, but you can't go out there and bash him in a press conference. You take onus of what happens, and behind closed doors, you address these issues. These things can't be happening in front of the media. This feels like the classic New York clown show that we put on for years and years and years that we're supposed to be getting away from. But unfortunately, this year feels like the cherry on top of the New York Jets experience.
Yeah, we're just scooping the ice cream here in New England. Um, But
If there's one thing that, we can take solace in, it is the recent failures of the Patriots. If we have anything to root for, it is your downfall. That is for sure.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Are you glad that you guys fired him or no?
No,
Or are you? Yeah.
I feel that firing Robert Saleh is probably something that would have happened in the offseason anyways. But there's a couple facts you need to look at. First of all, no team is taking an interim head coach to the Super Bowl. It's not going to happen. And at 2-5, the Super Bowl may seem a little bit of a grand, uh, bit delusional goal for the New York Jets, but the way this team is built, that's the goal that needs to be in mind. And that's not going to happen with an interim head coach. If anyone's getting dragged out of that building, it should have been Nathaniel Hackett. You should have dragged out Nathaniel Hackett, tried someone else calling the offensive plays, and if it didn't work, you address that in the offseason. There was no shot that Robert Saleh, midseason, getting fired is going to help us go anywhere. Look at the game against the Steelers. The reality is those players were drained. They weren't playing for anybody. Devontae said it himself. That sideline should have been up. It should have been active. But this team isn't playing for anybody right now. They don't know what the objective is anymore. And there's no head coach there to tell them. And that is just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. Um, I mean, why? I don't understand the point of firing coaches in the middle of the season. Like, where is that going to get you? Now you got to learn the plays in about seven days if you're lucky. Like, yeah, I don't. Maybe in room in the middle of the season, maybe that's one thing. But even then, like, I don't even. Yeah, I I wouldn't be very thrilled if that happened.
It's got to be, if you're going to fire a head coach midseason, you look at situations where the head coach has been a toxic personality that is actively dragging the team down. You look at like an Urban Meyer situation where he's kicking the players as they're doing their stretches and going to strip clubs and whatever he was up to. All that stuff, that's not good. You got to get that guy out of the building. But to send security to bring out Robert Saleh, a well-liked coach, if nothing else, a well-liked coach as a person, and bring him out without even being able to address the team is the most Woody Johnson move in the history of the New York Jets. And I
Yeah,
don't see any way that that's going to help us fix where we need to be this season.
yeah. Oh man, that's a tough situation over there. And like, do you think Mike Williams will be gone in a couple weeks, or like, what do you think that situation is?
Um, Probably within the next 2 weeks. I think he gets traded. All the places that were rumored for Cooper Cup, who I don't think is
Yeah,
going anywhere, should be rumored for Mike Williams. You'd look at the Chargers first and foremost. Send him back home. Justin Herbert is incredibly talented. He's stuck on the Chargers, and he has no receivers. Send him back, Mike Williams. They worked well together. You could send Mike to Pittsburgh. That would be a great fit as well. Someone to complement George Pickens, I think, would be fantastic. And Russell Wilson throws a great deep ball. We all know that.
we saw that,
Tampa Bay
and
Buccaneers, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, both just went down.
yeah,
Take a flyer on Mike Williams. Hell, I mean, if the Jets do one thing right, it's make great trades. And I'm hoping we can fleece somebody and get a decent pick. Not that Williams is a bad player. It just hasn't worked out here in New York, and I don't think his value would be as high as it should be. Either way, I think Joe Douglas is going to be able to pull a decent deal out for him.
yeah. Um, I I don't know what to expect in Devonte Adams. Like, I expected a lot from him last game. Didn't see much. Like, do you think there will be more involvement this game versus New England or no?
Yeah, not that he's not unfamiliar with Rodgers, but he is unfamiliar with the team. So
Yeah,
warming back up into things a little bit. Uh, it's a new situation. Can't discount that. The Steelers do have a fantastic defense. That's one thing that we can't discount. And yes, our offense should be playing well against a fantastic defense, but that's the reality is that's not happening right now. Against a team like the Patriots, with an underperforming defense this year, I think we have a shot. Um, that is a team that defensively, I think, should be doing significantly better than they are. I think the recent rift between Coach Mayo and Coach Belichick speaks to that better than anything could. This defense had all the same guys last year and was ranked a lot higher. Now, all of a sudden, we have a new coach and things aren't working. I don't look at the players, I look at the coaching. But with that being said, I don't know what team wins a coaching duel right now between these two. It's not a great look, and I would look for a step and an improvement, but this team's going to have to find a lot of heart if we want to play better than we did in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean, we're both coming off of pretty bad weeks, I would say. Both were leading in the first part of the game and blew it, I guess. Yeah, like you said, coaching is a huge part in both teams. Gerard Mayo came out and said on post game, he said our team is soft all around. Like, no, that is opposite. Like, the Patriots are not soft. I mean, I'm not saying that they're a big, like, strong group, but I'm not saying that they're a soft, like, I would never speak to the media, and I know Bill wouldn't speak to the media and say our team is soft and say something that negative about our team, because I mean, I know our team isn't soft, and I think they do too, but um, you're calling yourself soft if you're calling your team soft. And like Bill Belichick said, he talked to the media about that comment that Mayo said about our team being soft. Bill was like, our defense. He was like, I feel bad for that defensive squad because only about four or five guys have been added and dropped to that defense, and almost everything else has stayed the same. So, I mean, if you're gonna call this team soft, they weren't soft with me last year. So something really must have changed if they're a soft team right now, and maybe something really did change. But I, like you said, coaching is a huge part, and I like DeMarcus Covington, but I don't know. I feel like we should be producing a lot more defensive plays and stopping more offensive plays. I mean, you would think we have a coach that was a linebacker, and now we have one of the worst linebacker core in the league, and we don't know who to start. So, like, like I don't know, it just doesn't make much sense.
In many ways, Coach Mayo's answer is what shows the Patriot way as we know it is dead. Bill Belichick not only wouldn't say that to the media, he wouldn't say much at all to the
Yeah,
media. He doesn't let anything out. You know, this is the most personality we've seen from Coach Belichick in how many years?
like
Because
over
he's
20.
not a coach right now. He is a member of the media. If he was coaching that team, none of that would have been said. These things would have been addressed behind closed doors. How he does that, I don't know. I'm not supposed to know. That's what the team's supposed to know. There should be no access to that kind of thing. It's the same point I made about Aaron Rodgers throwing Mike Williams under the bus. As it's worse when it's the coach. You shouldn't be
And it,
throwing your players under the bus, and that is the simple reality.
well, yeah, but Aaron Rodgers, I feel like he isn't the coach, but right now he has the biggest role on the offense. I feel like with all these guys shifting, um, and I feel like it's worse for a veteran to say to what do you say to Mike Williams, like about Mike Williams?
I forget the exact quote, but
Yeah,
essentially, I think it was something about running the wrong routes. Again,
yeah,
no
like
matter what it was, it shouldn't have been said. There
hmm
is no reason that any member of this team should have specifics blasted by another player. If you want to take accountability for something that you feel you did in a game, go ahead. But for a quarterback to throw his wide receiver under the bus is egregious, and for a coach to call his own team soft, that's egregious too.
yeah, and like you guys have a veteran quarterback that's saying that, which I feel like it could make it a little tad bit worse because he's spoken to the media for that long. But at the same time, I mean, they're not neither of those things that that were said are right for them to say those. Um, I don't know how injuries are looking for you guys coming into this week, but I know that we're not very good with injuries right now. Drake May seems to be okay from taking a couple sacks 2 weeks ago. Um, he was playing okay. He only got sacked once last game, which is a huge. It's huge for us. Um, like, but everything almost kind of groups together. Like the O line, nobody mentioned it about last game, which is good. Like that's fine. But when people are, when everyone's mentioning our defense, that's something that kind of we got to fix, and something has to change. Um, like I said, Jalen Polk probably should get 10% of offensive snaps this week. I mean, he really just sucks right now. I don't know if this is a little phase that he's going through. I don't know if he's sick. I don't know if he's hurt. I don't know what's wrong with him, but something has to change because this isn't Jalen Polk. I mean, this isn't who he is as a receiver, um, or that's what we think anyway. And I don't know. I just kind of think it's ridiculous that he's playing like this. And Mayo said it back in September, late September. He was like, I just think he's going through a mental phase right now, and that's something that you probably shouldn't say with the media, because Polk then came on and said, I'm not going through a mental phase at all. Nothing's wrong. I have the best hands in the league. And like, all right, so now it seems like our head coach and our receiver are not discussing and talking to each other. Which that's happened a couple times throughout this season. Alex Van Pelt hasn't talked to Coach Mayo through the media, it looks like. Um, I just hate our coaching room right now. That's just how I'm gonna put it. I like Mayo as a coach. I like him as a let me rephrase that. I like him as a player. I like him as a person. He seems all right, but as a coach, I mean, things are starting slow. That's one way we can put it.
Yeah, certainly. And this matchup with you guys on Sunday, I feel this is absolutely the kind of thing that we need to exploit. To be frank, we need to run you guys into the ground. We're significantly more talented. Uh, the coaching, we're right there with you. You know, our coaching situation isn't great, but we are head and shoulders more talented of a team right now. And, you know, we haven't played like it. So our record should probably be better if we had a different kicker. I'd say at least two of our losses are directly attributed to Greg Zuerlein. So I hope we host some more tryouts this week. I don't know if they already happened, but I know we had some or are having some. Um, but he needs to get out of there because Greg Zuerlein has been a major problem for the New York Jets this year. And the last thing I want to do is lose a game to the Patriots while the Patriots aren't good because of a kicker.
Yeah. Um, yeah, kicking situation's always tough because, big position that matters. That doesn't really, you don't think that would matter a ton, I guess. I didn't know they lost two games from Greg Zerline missing.
Yeah, the Bills game, and I forget what the other one was, but absolutely, Greg Zuerlein, I think against the Bills missed two key field goals
Oh,
that would have had us that game, and you know that's not a bad team. That's a
yeah.
good team that we're able to hang with to the point where we're talking about field goals being a factor. So you know that's something that's got to change. We have a lot of problems, but that's certainly one of them.
Yeah. Um, luckily, well, obviously don't want anyone to get hurt, but Jalen Polk has a concussion. He did not participate in practice today, so we might not see Jalen Polk on Sunday. Um, Layden Robinson, our guard, ankle injury. I really hope he doesn't play on Sunday because Mayo has a thing with him. I don't know why he likes him so much, why he puts him at guard, why he starts him, but he's not very good. And I don't know if you've heard, but we have a terrible offensive line. We have switched out. We haven't had the same offensive line group we haven't had the same offensive line group um twice in a game. We haven't had the same offensive line group um in 2 games, so all season. So that's tough. Defensively, I think we're gonna lose this one. I mean, Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson, they're gonna be tough for Christian Gonzalez, Jonathan Jones, and Marcus Jones to go against. I mean, it's gonna be a really, really good matchup. I personally think that we have one of the best corner groups in the league.
I agree.
Um, I think Christian Gonzalez, top 3 corner in the league. He let up his worst play in London last week versus Jacksonville, which was oh god, it was like 55-yard touchdown by Brian Thomas Jr. But other than that, I mean, he played the ball. It was just a great play by Jacksonville. But other than that, I mean, he's been locked. He's been like locked on this year. I think last week he faced or last time he faced New York Jets, he only let Garrett Wilson to like was it 5 catches and he let him up to like less than 30 yards, I think it was, and only 1 touchdown. Like he let him up 1 touchdown, but other than that, he played pretty well against him. Things might change now with Devontae Adams in there, with Mike Williams, changing a little bit, in the depth chart. But I'm thinking Gonzo on Garrett Wilson, and then Jonathan Jones on Devontae Adams, just because Garrett Wilson or Christian Gonzalez has a pretty good history with Garrett Wilson. So why would you change it? Brees Hall will probably just cook our whole team. That's gonna be scary.
Yeah, I
um,
was gonna say that's a big piece of our passing offense right now is Brees Hall. Um, Especially if your corners are able to shut down our receivers, which, again, very talented quarterback group you guys have there. It's very possible. We should lean on Brees Hall in a game like this. One thing I would like to see is more Braylon Allen, actually.
yes,
Braylon Allen is a fantastic running back, and it seems that every time we want to run it up the middle, we use Brees Hall. Braylon Allen up the middle, Hall around the sides, Hall in the receiving game. We need to have more of a split backfield. I love Brees. I think he has elite potential, and I think he pushes it sometimes being elite. But right now, that's not the case, and I don't think it hurts to take reps off of his shoulder. Braylon Allen is incredibly talented. I'd like to see more of him. As for our defense, we're getting a lot of guys back this week. We're going to see DJ Reed come back. We're going to see Michael Carter II come back. These are key pieces to our secondary. We do lose Ashton Davis. We do lose Tony Evans. Tony Adams, please excuse me. So that is not great for our safety unit, and I honestly do not know who we plan on starting in that spot on Sunday, but I don't think it's going to be enough of an issue with everyone else being healthy. And with the fact that we lit you guys up in terms of sacks last time we played you, and now we have everyone healthy and Hassan Reddick now on the team. We'll see how
yeah,
he plays after his holdout, but I don't think it's a bad thing to have him in that rotation, especially with the way Wilton McDonald's been playing.
yeah. I don't know if I want to say Pat's O line has gotten better since then because we haven't seen the same group. But last game we were good. So I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't call the Jaguars D line good, but I wouldn't call them terrible. Like they're in the middle of the pack. So um Jets a little higher tier, right? With D line and in the pass rush and all that. But I think you guys will definitely get after him. But again, Jacoby Brissett, he probably got out of the pocket once or twice all 6 games he played. May has gotten out of the pocket a lot. So things will definitely be different now. We'll have the home field advantage now. And yeah, so I feel like things have if anything, if any things have turned, it's gonna be positive for the Patriots, in my opinion. You guys do have some guys coming back, like you just said. However, I think the quarterback change was just a huge part. Although the defense has stepped down a lot, we'll see. I don't. I do. I think the Patriots can get this win. It's gonna be tough. It will be. It'll be a lot, but home field advantage. I think we'll come down with this one.
I do think this is a game the New York Jets win. I think this team is due a win. Again, momentum isn't in a great spot, but I think the Patriots are a team we can't exploit. Things are different. Drake May is a significantly better quarterback than Jacoby Brissett. Brissett's a career backup. He's an all right one, but you need to have pieces to do anything with him, and you guys don't have pieces. Drake May has the potential to win games without pieces. He showed that last week. That's what makes him dangerous. But do I think against this defense he's going to have his first one? I don't.
Yeah, yeah. You have a point there. This is a really good defense we're facing. Now, I don't think this is the case right now, but I really hope it isn't that we're tanking. I don't think that's the case. I really hope not anyway. I mean, it looks like we're tanking because we just suck, but like I really don't think we are. I don't think that's something Mayo would do. Um, Obviously, we're not going to go to quarterback in the draft, so I don't see a need to tank. I mean, a tackle went fifth overall, and if we don't tank, I think we'll be somewhere around there. So, and I think we want to tackle in the draft. So, um, we obviously don't need the number one pick. If we have it, great. We'll get something. Well, realistically, we'll probably get nothing, but um, we'll try to get something and make do with it. But I just remembered something. Braylon Allen, like you were talking about, that would be that'd be interesting to see more of him. I think he's a really good running back. Lots of talent, and although Brees Hall has gotten all this hype in the past couple of years with how good he's been, um, you want to give Braylon Allen that chance too, because like like Drake May and our rookies, you don't want to take confidence away, and that's kind of what our whole season has been talking about, is taking the confidence away from Drake May, the rookie quarterback. So, I mean, I'm sure you guys wouldn't want to see just Braylon Allen's confidence just go down with him not getting many touches. But if they do involve him in the running game and even the pass game, I mean, he's been involved in that a little bit. I think that will change the scores of the games. Um, yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. I think that if we see more of him in the right places, things can go really well. I felt for years that this team needed a power back, especially once Brees Hall got hurt. I was crying out for us to sign Leonard Fournette at one point. I thought that would have been a great fit. But instead of doing that, we went out and we drafted someone. So we didn't spend money. So I love that move. I'm totally okay with that, considering Allen has played well when we've given him the opportunity to play so far. But I've watched us use these guys in the wrong ways. I'm watching us throw to Allen while we try and run Hall up the middle. Hall is a shiftier back, and we should be utilizing him like that. And the roles should be a little bit more clear cut, I think. Yes, you don't want to make it obvious what's going on every time these dudes step in the game, but they need to be sticking to their bread and butter to an extent. We try and be cute. That's what happens. We try and be cute, and it bites us in the butt.
yeah. Um, our receiving core, you have Sauce Gardner. Who's your other cornerback?
We have Sauce Gardner as CB1, DJ Reed as CB2, another top 10 corner in this league. And then our nickel is Michael Carter II, who we just gave a big contract to and is also fantastic.
Yeah, so you guys have a pretty good group, the cornerback group too. If Jalen Polk today, I mean, I'm talking about this guy, so this is who we're watching right now. And remind you, this guy says he has the best hands in the league. You'll see. You'll see.
Oh
Then he
yeah.
gets up and asks for the penalty. Um, but I want to get involved Demario Douglas. I want him to play a little bit. He has been looking good for us, in my opinion. Pretty shifty. Hunter Henry has been looking good for us. That's about it. I mean, we don't have a very good team, but one of those running backs. Did you guys want Ezekiel Elliott? Were you thinking about him in the offseason or
Oh,
no?
no, thank you. No, thank you. The last thing we need is another washed running back. We just went through that with Dalvin Cook. Um,
Oh yeah.
it leave the old guys aside. Yes, I wanted a power back, but that was not the one. I was really all about Leonard Fournette, but again, I'm very happy with the direction we took instead of paying someone else. We have some guys we're gonna have to pay here pretty soon. We elected to find that in the draft, and again, I would like to see Braylon Allen utilized more.
Yeah. That would make sense. Our running back group, not too bad. Gibson and Ramondre. Ramondre lost his job a couple weeks ago and just gained it right back. So didn't do very good last week, but Patriots makes a lot of mistakes. So the running back situation shouldn't be our biggest problem. We have a lot more problems to worry about. Um, who are some key matchups for this week um, for you?
Again, I think it's going to come down to the Jets receivers versus the Patriots cornerbacks. I think that's the biggest thing to watch. We've got Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson, two guys that should be at wide receiver one quality. You can argue Garrett hasn't been there this year. He'll run the wrong route sometimes. Him and Rodgers don't look completely on the same page, but when he's on, he is on. So we're facing Christian Gonzalez, we're facing John Jones. Jack Jones. Wow, I'm thinking of UFC here with a big card up this weekend. Christian Gonzalez and Jack Jones. These are two
No,
fantastic
it's
corners.
Jonathan. Jack Jones. Jack Jones is the one that brought the guns in the airport and got
Oh, you are right. There we go. Yeah, can't
yeah,
be doing
Jack
that.
Jones is with the Raiders. He's doing good.
Yeah, I had it mixed up there, but yeah,
It's fine. Yeah.
they're fantastic corners. I think we're watching two defenses with two of the best corner units in the league, respectively, each team matching up here. And I think the difference is that the Jets just have much better firepower coming at it. Drake May look good last week. He's a rookie quarterback still, and I think he's going to be exploited by a good defense. Um, and I think that's going to be the key in this game.
Yeah. Um my my two my I have a couple big matchups. Who's your right tackle? Is that gonna be Fashanu or is that
Morgan
gonna be
Moses.
Morgan Moses? Because I know Moses was hurt. I don't know if he's good or not to
Yeah,
play,
he played
but
last week.
all right. So yeah, that is gonna be a good that's gonna be a good matchup. Morgan Moses and Keon White. We saw a lot from Keon White in the beginning of the season. Kind of slowed it down a little bit, but I think this is game to pick it back up versus a good right tackle. He tends to play a little better with the better tackle he plays for some reason. Don't ask me why. There's a lot of questionable things that the Patriots do, but um, I think that's gonna be a good matchup. Yes, the receiver for the Jets and the cornerbacks for the Pats will definitely be a good matchup as well. I'm not sure who will win that. I think Gonzo and his pack will take the take the trophy for that one. But we'll see. I mean, Rodgers could find a rhythm with Devontae Adams, and that could be a scary trio that we have. We'll find that out later on Sunday. I don't think there's many other matchups. I mean, Demario Douglas and Sauce Gardner might not be terrible. Sauce Gardner will probably win it, but um, Demario Douglas he's really quick, so which they both are. But yeah, we'll see who wins that matchup. Um, but score predictions. What do you think?
Um, it's hard to see a situation where the Jets truly lacerate the Patriots, but I do think the Jets win by 2 scores. I think we're looking at something along the lines of 13-27. New York wins the game in Foxborough.
All right. Well, that's I really hope that doesn't happen. I'm thinking I think it's gonna be close, and I think maybe you're onto something with Greg Zuerlein missing a field goal to win that game. Um, I'm thinking I'm gonna go 24 to 24 to 27. No, 21-24. Patriots are going to come down with it. Like I said, it's going to be close. But I just think we have what it takes to beat this team. We don't have what it takes to beat many teams, but I just have a feeling this is our week, like I have for the past 6 weeks. But I don't know. I have a feeling this is our week. So,
Have to have that hope, man. Have to have that
yeah,
hope. Trust me, I'm very well versed, very experienced in being a fan of a pretty ass team. You're a little bit newer to it, so trust me, you got to hang on to that, or else you don't have anything else.
yeah. I'm still trying to keep that strong grip. It's tough, but um, if I'll let you know, I'll talk to you about a recap podcast maybe next week. But I think that's all for today. Anything else that you wanted to mention?
Yep. Follow me on
Yes.
social media, Instagram at Turnpike Tackle. If you'd like to follow me personally, at He is Hendrix Pro for professional wrestling content, if that's your kind of thing. I cover on Turnpike Tackle the New York Jets primarily. Maybe that's what I'll focus on. We haven't really figured it out yet. But the New York, New Jersey area, sports in general, we're all over it. So make sure you get on me there. That's where you find me. Let's social it up, people. Thank you.
Make sure to go follow him. You can find everything I do at Patriot Focus on Instagram. We have a Facebook page too that I really don't check, and I checked once, and we had 2.7 million views on a reel. So I'm like, whoa. But anyway, make sure to go follow him. This is a really fun one. Um, thanks for joining us today on the Patriot Cast, and I will be excited to talk to you about the game.
Right on. Thank you for having me.
No problem. All right, and until next time.